You know, you may be a few years out from retirement or just recently retired, and chances are you've been studying up a little bit, maybe reading articles on the internet, ways to, ensure that you're doing some of the things that you need to do properly to ensure a long-term successful retirement. But, as the world changes, as interest rate environments change, as tax rates change, as Social Security rules change, and a lot more, there's a chance you may need to stop following conventional retirement strategies. Today, I'm going to dive into some of the misconceptions and some of the things to be aware of to ensure you have true success in retirement. Keep it right here. Good day, everybody. Chris Herline here of Reap Financial, host of Retire Ready TV on KXAN here in Austin, Texas, and host of Wealth Radio every Saturday on News Radio KLBJ. If you enjoy our channel, we drop new content throughout the month. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. Today, I'm going to talk about the idea that you may want to stop following conventional retirement strategies. And I want you to stay tuned to the end because I'm going to cover our most important one last. All right, so here we go. A lot of the conventional wisdom out there through the years has said, hey, maybe look at a portfolio of bonds and stocks, get that thing balanced correctly, and then you have this over-reliance potentially on what they call the 4% rule. The 4% rule is basically saying, hey, if you withdraw 4% per year or less of your net worth, you should be successful in retirement. The problem with that is that that's going to depend on how the stock market performs. It's also critical to think about the inflationary environment that we've been in all these years. Medicare goes up every year. The expenses go up every year. Home insurance, food and energy prices, I don't have to tell you. And so if you're pulling 4% a year out of the portfolio and you've got a dismal market year and you've got 3, 4, 5% inflation, you may not even be treading water. And so what we see the most successful retirees do and position themselves to do is have a withdrawal rate of less than 1% per year for the first 10 years. As your budget goes up, your withdrawal rate potentially is going to go up year over year. But in those early years of retirement, we want to make sure we're not hitting the portfolio too early on, because then we're losing dollars and cents that could otherwise be compounding for you, breaking a sweat through the years and providing longevity to your portfolio. So there's an over-reliance I see on the 4% rule. I think it's outdated, and I think that you need to really look at honing in your outflows in the early years. That's a critical piece of it. Another conventional wisdom piece is plans that are overlooking prioritizing after-tax income. Remember, it's all about the net. And so most retirees today, the bulk of their wealth is in IRAs and 401ks, okay? That's pre-tax money. When you go to live on that money, it's all taxable as income. And so what we see is the most successful retirees out there, they've been hammering their 401ks, stockpiling those things for years. They were rolled out in the 80s, and it was touted as the most tax efficient account because you get a tax deduction every year you're putting money in. The problem is that you've inadvertently set yourself up to be taxed on the bigger number. The balance that's in that 401k is much bigger than it was when you started it years ago. And so you're going to be paying tax now at income tax rates on every dollar that comes out of that. So this is why we talk a lot about tax diversification, saving in a way that some of your money is going to be taxed as income, saving in a way that some of it's going to be somewhat taxed. That could be like bank cash, money markets, your brokerage accounts, which are taxed at more favorable tax rates. And then you've also got no tax, things like Roth IRAs and health savings accounts. And if this is kind of ringing a bell to you, ask yourself, do you have a Roth IRA? Secondly, if you do, is it the smallest account out of all of them that you have? Chances are that's probably right. And this is because we see hundreds of portfolios every year come through our office. We just know our financial religion is to get tax savings today, but we really don't look forward as to what taxes could be in the future and what tax brackets we're going to be in the future. So conventional plans have said, Don't pay tax today, pay it down the road. That may not be the best move, particularly for successful retirees that have a nice lifestyle in retirement, that are going to be pulling a lot of money out. That means you could be in a very high tax bracket, or at least the same tax bracket you were in your highest earning years. So these are things that are very easily overlooked, but these are some critical things that can make or break a plan. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to leave your questions in the comments section, and I'll get to them in future episodes, just like I've done in the past. All right, let's continue on. Another misconception is failing to diversify your income streams. This kind of ties into what I was just talking about. It's that you need to have not only a diversified portfolio, the way it's invested, you need to have tax diversification. You need to have an income plan that's designed to ensure that you're not overpaying in taxes. I'll give you an example. If you got money that's not taxed, Roth IRAs, somewhat taxed and always taxed, you get to choose. You get to choose what accounts you want to live on in the early, middle, and late years of retirement. But here's the problem. A lot of times there's not a whole lot of planning around this. It's kind of like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's like, we'll just take it out of here or take it out of here. The thing is that if you do this right, you can have more control over your tax bracket in retirement than any time in your life. That's a true statement. But you got to plan. And so you got to have that tax diversification, and you want to have a income plan that's designed strategically to pull from certain accounts each and every year. Maybe it's one or multiple, and doing it in a way that you are keeping yourself in the lowest bracket possible, and you're not pulling too heavy on one so that you exhaust it early and now we don't have any options, right? So again, having a truly diversified income plan is very important. Another one is around conventional plans and how they're static. A lot of people, they don't adjust their plan as things are adjusting. Things like inflation, things like changes in Social Security, things like the fact that you're going to pay more in Medicare premiums based on your income. The list goes on. And so as things change, you need to be able to bob and weave with it. And I'll give you a great example. Retirees for many decades leaned on bonds and stocks as a balanced portfolio to try to mitigate risk, generate some income, and I believe it was certainly easier back then. But in today's environment, the last few years, bonds have really suffered. Bonds lost money in 2022 when the stock market was down 20 to 40%. So right now in this environment, it's not the safe haven or that consistent stability that you're looking for. And so there's other strategies, there's other investments, there's other type of tools that you can use to ensure that you've got more stability in your portfolio. You got money that's going up even when the stock market's going down, and that list goes on. The last one, and this is critical, it's that one size fits all doesn't fit anymore, okay? If you're working with an advisor, you need to ask them, number one, are they a fiduciary? Two, am I in the same portfolio that everybody else is in? Because here's the thing, everybody's plan is different. Why? Because even if you're the same age as another client, your values for saving and spending is a lot different. Your ambitions for, building memories, spending money to travel the world with your family, or leaving money to your kids, everybody's different. And the amount of money that you saved is likely different as well. Your risk tolerance is different. Your tax bracket's different. The amount you're going to get in Social Security is different. So you got to make sure that you have a portfolio that is tailored to you and your lifestyle and your ambitions and your goals. One size fits all doesn't fit, and it won't work long term. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to click to watch this next video to get inspired to create your best retirement life based on your unique goals and aspirations.